Newsday, what's your name?
I am Julia Calendar.
Julia Calendar, right? Nice to meet you. Okay, so I have one question for you concerning the budget, right? Okay, so the 2023 budget saw an average of $8 billion allocated to education and training, $7.4 billion allocated to health, and $6.9 billion allocated towards national security. Which one of these sectors do you believe should be allocated more money in this year's budget?
Health.
Health?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Because when people are sick, they have to go to the hospital. There are some people they cannot get beds to lie on, right? And the care that they need when they're sick, they don't even have enough doctors.
Right.
So I would say health.
What's your name?
Gregory.
Gregory, nice to meet you, Gregory. So we have one question concerning the upcoming budget, right? Which sector or ministry are you most interested in hearing discussed in the upcoming budget and why?
Food.
Why?
Then grocery prices too high. The cost of living seem to be paycheck to paycheck, although the government says we have how much? Some kind of 4 billion as revenue. But they're not trickling down to the working class, I should say. You know, the fortnight and the daily paid workers.
Okay.
Right? The cost of living is too high. You know, they have to touch on them food.
Food? Okay, so you want them to lower the food prices or you want them to raise fortnight and daily paid worker salary?
Well, yeah, because remember it's since 2012 or 15 salary working on, you know.
Okay.
So the back pay is still an issue. Because they say they're not moving from the 4. So they had to do something.
Right.
Either pass the back pay or cry down the food prices.
So let's have one question for you, right?
No problem.
All right. Are there any sections of the budget you would like to see an increase or decrease in allocated funds this year?
Now, to be honest with you, on the higher level of understanding the educational system, the budget needs to continue to raise. In my point of view, if you raise the budget, they can be able to allocate more funds for the teachers.
Okay.
Because the teachers right now is arguing
Struggling,
struggling, and a lot of teachers is basically leaving schools. So people are not paying attention to that.
Right.
They're so focused on the crime, not knowing that the education, if you start from young, crime will be in existence in the first place.
Yeah.
So if you go back and do some more research pertaining to how the education system was failing in many different sections, 9 out of 10, most of this crime will never be happening in the first place, because people will have more knowledge and knowing how to do things more properly, and people will have a creative spark in order for them to create more opportunities, not only for themselves, but for their peers.
Right.
And when the continuation of the rising of the funds dealing with the educational system, right now, you also have to pay attention to the healthcare, because you have a lot of people going to the hospitals. And I think in the healthcare section, right now, a lot of doctors, a lot of nurses is not properly being taken care of. Only because if you pay attention, when they go to the hospitals, a lot of people that's dying at a young age is only because if you go to the clinics, they're not having certain tools. They're not having certain equipment in order for them to produce what they need to produce according to the services in those healthcare services.
All right. So in the 2023-2024 budget, one of the ways the government proposed to assist in reducing crime was by tripling the intake of police recruits from 300 to 1,000 recruits, right? Within this year's budget, what other proposals would you like to see as it concerns national safety and security?
I propose that the government should have an implementation program for informational and educational for the children. Information for the children. Information and educational information for the children. And what we're seeing here today, we've seen a lot of repeated offenders in the courts of Trinidad and Tobago for maybe the same crime or similar crimes. So what they're going to have is, can't just locked up or just bring the state, what they call a police state, just lock everybody up. You have to naturally cut it by the bud. So we have to harness the ability of the children with creative intelligence, critical intelligence, critical thinking, critical analysis, retentive thinking, that's a different category of what we call information. So we need to naturally harness budgeting in children. Because having all these police officers, all these police officers, okay, so there's protection, but for who? Right? When we have all this protection, everybody say they're feeling safe. Still they will have the crime factors because the police service will be working assiduously and they're still working assiduously. But what about the mentality of the criminal minds? What about the young minds which naturally grew up into criminalism? So we need to cut it by the bud.
All right, so the question is, in the 2023-24 budget, the government listed some financial benefits in the sum of $4.2 billion, right, provided to the population. Some of these include the Public Assistance Grant, Food Support Program, Senior Citizens Pension, Disability Grant, and the Disability Grant for minors. Have you or anyone you know benefited from these programs or similar programs?
Yes, I know one or two persons in the disability programs and other, well, how to put it, like with the health and thing. And yeah.
Do you think they've benefited from these programs in any way?
Yes, that is go and get free checks and things. Go and have a health crew once every month in Sawa, Pulmina Day.
Okay.
In the heart of Sawa, and you could go and get any check you want, any type of,
Okay.
diabetes, this blood pressure or whatever,
Okay.
and all these sorts of things. Yeah.
And do you think these programs are beneficial to people?
Yes, because people does go and elderly, young ones and all, everybody, male as well as female. Yeah.
Okay.